Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill, and this is another Beyond Code Live. I'm doing now part 8 of the the Node Auth project. So basically, kind of creating a little bit like Auth 0 from scratch. So where we're at now is that I did have a couple of fixes off camera that I'll go over real quick. But our goals, let me go ahead and check the issues and see how the issues are up to date, or not how they're up to date, but what issues we've got. Okay, audit trail is something that I want to consider. Probably not right now. Magic link, we might go into that because of the email template stuff, or rather, we're going to go into email template stuff because we're going to try to do magic link, meaning that you send the user an email. If they can't log in or they can, we just want it to be easy to sign in via email and not have to deal with a password. Since email is inherently more secure than a password because you can always get in through email, and passwords are typically publicly available online for junk accounts anyway. Okay, and some of this other stuff we might go into. I want to core focus around the email because that's the next bit I got to demo, but I do need to show you something that was really important security-wise that came up because of a typo that I made and a bad default that I had in a library. So I'm now on WIP 2. And let's diff this with the last commit from where we left off. Nothing too crazy there. That's just in the README, although I might need to update that as well. I did change the name of a couple of things, so I changed the OIDC config middleware to be the well-known middleware. Put in an unexpected error handler, or log out errors that are unexpected errors, rather. Added with the genyinv, added the ability to have more than one config file, since I actually now have, or more than one env file, since I now have two, because I've got one that I'm not going to show you that has my actual tokens and secrets in it for Mailgun and Twilio and such. Okay, let's see if I can find the little bug here where I was checking. I needed to check if there wasn't a JWT. Then if it's not strict, then go ahead. Otherwise, there needed to be an error. And so it was throwing an error right here. Okay, this is the typo that was the security problem. So the keyfetch library was designed, for federated authentication, in which case the issuer doesn't matter because you would accept any issuer. You just want the pairing of subject at issuer. And for some reason, I had made it an array of issuers that you can trust. Actually, this makes sense because if you do want to limit it, you probably want to limit it to a certain number of issuers. But it's even more likely that if you want to limit it, you want to limit it to just one issuer, in which case it would make sense to use the convention of ish rather than issuer or issuers. And so it was my fault for not following the documentation, but also my fault for writing the library in such a way that for a wide use case, it is not secured by default. It should be throwing an error or at least console.logging a warning. So we're going to go fix that. We might fix that before we get started. But anyway, so it was not actually checking the issuer, and I did make an issue about this. Need test for valid token with untrusted issuer, because I was thinking, I think I said in the video that I knew that that's what I wanted. I wanted to function the right way. I thought it was functioning the right way, but I needed to double check. And so I did double check. Well, actually, the person who's integrating with this ran that test, which I had planned to run, but ran that test and then reported the issue. Then similar thing with cookie secrets. If there's not a cookie secret, we need to generate a random one and warn that it should be. And this kind of goes into the whole bit of, at the top I said I want to get rid of all of these global variables, because the inside of a library, my opinion is that the inside of a library should not be reading environment variables. The inside of a library should require things to be passed in. And I know AWS does not do this, but I pass it in manually because I don't like the way AWS does it. Same thing here. So I was setting ish, not issuers, and I had to do that in maybe 2 or 3 places where I was setting ish instead of issuers, and I had to go change it. And then better error messages. Let's see. Getting rid of the process.env.private key, and instead expecting that a string is going to be passed in that represents something from an environment variable. I also should allow a file name or an object. Well, I guess I do allow an object. Yes. Okay. Then slightly better error messages, or at least updated error messages. And then there was an extra error handler that was supposed to be moved out into the main file that wasn't, and then I moved that out. And then the renaming that I just mentioned of OIDC config to well-known, because that makes more sense. Going back down to package lock version 1, because I'm using this on node 14, not node 16. Sticking with node LTS. So there was that change, which was huge. Let's see. And then I added some more tests in the test.js, or test sh, sorry. And then added in the UI, the browser portion rather, added a test with it actually using the token to get something. So I don't know why. It must be like my posture or something. I don't know why I'm yawning like this. I do have the comments open on Twitch and on YouTube, although I'm not sure if YouTube is actually working, because it looks like it's just sitting there saying waiting for data. So maybe I gotta post this to YouTube after the fact. Whatever. But I'll try to. I often fail with the comments, but I'll try to keep an eye on the comments. So for those of you that are interested in that, I'd love to hear from you. All right. So what do I need to do? Well, first of all, let's go fix the security problems so that we don't have them again. So keyfetch is the library that does not have a bug. It's working as documented, but it should behave betterly, let's say. Also, I kind of want to move this to GitHub for SEO and such. I liked going the federated route, but you just can't beat. For SEO, you have to be on the platforms. You just can't, unless your niche is super, super tiny and what you're doing is super, super popular. You can mirror on your own stuff, but you have to be on GitHub. You have to be on some of these things. I mean, argue with me. Let me know a better way, but it's what you got to do in the modern times. But I do plan for this to go maybe I will do it right now. What do we've got? 1 pull request and 2 issues open. Oh yeah, that looks right. Okay. So yeah, it looks like just as well to move this over. Just get it started at least. All right, keypairs.js. What's the description on this? Oh, no, keyfetch. That's my verifier. All right, and we're going to make it public. We don't need any other stuff. I'm just going to get remote add origin, except dagnabbit do the SSH. There we go. I don't know why they default to HTTPS. It's so stupid, because then you have to have personal access tokens instead of just your normal SSH key. All right, get remote add origin. Sure. First, we're going to rename get remote mv origin equal age86. Okay, not mv. Rename. Get remote add origin. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, let's go ahead and... Can I get rid of this? What do I do? Settings. Can I move it? Transfer. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Cool. So should be able to add this and get push -u origin. Let's go ahead, get checkout -b main push -u origin main. Master get push all. Even tags? There we go. Alright, let's see if there's anything. No, nothing about master in there. Okay, and again, I don't do it for the politics. I just do it because it's the way things are going. And so, you know, fewer letters to type, whatever. Just don't want people thinking that I'm part of any particular group. Right. Oh. Root projects.org root keyfetch.js. Yeah, we can link back to there. This is how I get the SEO, is you publish it on GitHub, and then when you publish something on GitHub, it's going to get cloned and forked and whatever to a bunch of just bot junk sites, but they carry weight. And so always make sure that you link to the repository that you want to get the bulk of the attention, whether that's GitHub or your own Git instance or what have you, so that as the bots go out and spread it, the bots aren't able to steal your SEO from you, because the text that they're copying, because the bots are going to be better at SEO than you are. They're going to take your content, they're going to mix it with other content with similar keywords, and then people are going to search for your thing. If you tell somebody about it, or you are searching for it, and then it's going to pop up, it's going to be on these junk bot sites, and you're going to be like, why? But if you do this, it's a nice little trick, so that it goes back to the origin. And so, even if you're just using GitHub because that's what you have to use, that you're getting some of that SEO back to where you intend it to go. Let's see what I've got here. I think I will, let's see. Let's say that I will take in this pull request. I don't know if I can take that in anymore. Let's see if I can. I don't know why I didn't accept this earlier. But let's see. Pull request is broken due to missing fork information. Okay, well, that's all right. Anyway. All right. Just going to remove some stuff. Oh, there's a couple of these things that I don't want to really have to deal with, but whatever, such is life. Okay, get.coolaj6.com, get.rootprojects.org. All right, go ahead and get that updated, and a couple of these CoolAJ, whoops, CoolAJ6s should be roots. Yeah. Yeah. Not that one. Oh gosh. For a little spell, I tried to change my username from CoolAJ6 to solder.js. That was a dumb idea. I got over it. Alrighty. What were we looking at? Looks right. Looks right. Ah, why? Why? No, I don't want locked file version. I could have sworn I was a node at 14. Huh. I guess I slipped into 16 for some reason, for something or other. Alright, let's do this again. Get our package lock version back down to v1. Okay. All right, we're going to make a mirror, new migration from GitHub. It's going to be a mirror. And did I even push it yet? All right, cool. Here it goes. Access token, none needed. Description. Let's go ahead and give it the same description that we've got in the other places. And there we go. Now that's set up. Cool. And we don't need, that's not a thing. Oh no. Did I just, let's just leave that at whatever default. Prettier.rc, actually, let's go ahead and move this to .prettyrc.json. So, all right, and then out of these things, ugh, what is going on? What I want is for this to be formatted however npm formats it. So let's see, npm install. All right, now let's fix these two issues. And then I will close this out and turn it into a mirror. All right, barfs when ish did not exist should return a validation error. Line 203. All right, let's check that one out. Keyfetch.js 203. let's just go ahead and say if not ISS throw new error. And what is this? So I guess we do want it to barf, or don't we? Yeah. I should have given a test case for that, because now I'm not quite sure what the use case was. I think it was because this was actually wrong. The well-known resource. I think that's why I was getting that error previously. Because I really shouldn't be able to get to most of these things without it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave that in there because I don't know that that's a... Normalize ISS. Okay. OIDC. Definitely has to have one there. Well-known JWKs. Okay, has to have one there. Cannot work otherwise. Check cache. Something can't be in the cache if it doesn't have one of those. Okay. What is this? Set cache. All right, agreed. Can't set cache if it's not in there. So, yeah, the only cases, I guess, okay, it's fair enough to have a more descriptive error message. But it means that the inputs were invalid. So, okay, sure, a more descriptive error message. But it, yeah, it just means that the inputs were invalid in the first place. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and close that out. Close. All right, and then this one. This is the important one. We need to go treat issuers. This is what needs to happen here. If not issuers.length. Yeah, this is what we need to do. If not issuers.length. If ops.ish issuers.push ops.ish. Yeah. Okay. And then we want to retain the current behavior. We don't want to break anything. But we do want to issue a warning, and in the future version, this behavior should be deprecated. So I guess else console.warn neither ops.issuers nor ops.ish was specified. Let's see, neither of or given. And let's prefix this very clearly. Warn. There we go. Okay, neither of ops.issuers nor issuers were given. Will be used by default. This will change in the next version. I don't know if that's the way I want it to be phrased, but Okay, security warning. Neither ops.issuers nor ops.ish were provided. Let's say provided. That doesn't matter. The current behavior is to allow all issuers, all issuers let's see. Setting ops.ish equals star, which will verify the default behavior of setting ops.issue equals star. By default, that's what currently happens, is deprecated, and we'll throw an error instead in the next version. Okay, there. Good. A good little note for myself. Fix the security bug in place so that anything can upgrade. Well, it's not really a security bug. It works as documented. But anyway, fix it in place. Workaround in place. Document that it will change in the next version, then bump the major version. And publish with the true fix. All right. And let's put where this is coming from, since it could be embedded deeply in something. There we go. Okay, that's good. Now, is there anywhere else where we need to worry about ops and issuers? Let's see. Issuers, ops.ish. Anywhere else? Nope. Looks like only here. Is ops passed around anywhere else? In whole? Let's see. Nope. All right. I think that's the fix then. Security crisis to be avoided. Alrighty, one last look through this. Looks right. I should add a test here to make sure that things are still going to behave the way that I think that they ought to behave. White space changes. All right, do we have some tests in place already? Honestly, I don't know if we do. Key fetch test. No, we've got to. All right, so just running this, it should fail. That's my hypothesis. Cannot find module key pairs. Sure. Key pairs. Oh, I need to npm install. That's why. Alrighty. Cannot find modules key pairs.js. What is going on? Oh, I know what I did here. key pairs. Because I probably had cloned this locally. All right, cool. Security warning, security warning, security warning. Excellent. Alrighty. So key fetch test issuer. Key fetch init? What's that all about? Okay, cache stuff. Cool, got it. All right. And we'll say issuer is star in here, which really I don't need to do that because I know it's going to be example.com. But let's just roll with it. Well, let's not just roll with it. Let's do var-ish equals. Put that there. And then we'll do one where we cause it to fail on purpose. All right, because that should work. We could do it a couple of different ways. We could have one where it passes anything. We have one where it only passes a specific one. We can just kind of go back and forth on this, really. Issuers. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see what I'm doing there. All right. Oh, goodness, there's a ton of these. How close am I to the bottom here? Okay, where would this have come from? We need to get a little bit more detail out of this. Security warning. If not issuers.length. So could I do new error stack here? I think that's what I need to do. I think I need to, this should be an error with a stack trace. And then we should warn on the error. And that should give us the stack trace, right? Okay. Promise.all. Dang it. But it's all coming at the same point. So that doesn't really help me. Also just going to check comments real quick. All right, none so far. And did the YouTube thing ever actually get started? No, it did not. YouTube is still pending for some reason. Okay. What was it, 2:45? I don't remember now. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Cannot read property, replace of undefined. This is 441, 441. Is trusted issuer. Decoded.claims. I don't even know what's going on here. It was working until I tested it. Actually, I should probably, let's take a step back here. Let's stash everything. And let's go run the test. Before any changes. All right, I'm going to go into Node modules here, and I'm going to do a little trickery do. Okay, so everything is passing. So that's good. So what is making all the tests fail suddenly? Let's take a look at the internals of this. All right, let me stop and think about this problem. So tests are passing beforehand. They're not passing afterwards. Is the issue the warning? Excuse me, the stack trace is going to give the same line every time, which is the line on which the warning is generated. So that stack trace is super not useful. What we could do is have it go up the stack a little bit, like be thrown. It's inside of promise.all. Could I somehow... Verify. Is verify used internally, or is it only used externally? Okay, require crypto, update, verify. Key fetch verify, key fetch.jwt.verify. And this is something from a cache, is why it's called hit, because there's a hit and a miss. Verify one, fetch. Fetch one. Oh, bother. I need to make this smaller so I can see more at a time. More lines. Longer lines. Ugh. It's a little bit long, I'd say. Ops.strategy. Really? That doesn't seem quite right. I don't want to get in the weeds here. I should have put a few more comments or separated this into a few more functions. But the base thing is this. Oh. If ops.issuers, issuers.push. Yeah, this should all be good. Issuers. Okay. Is trusted issuer. Oh, that doesn't look right. Is trusted issuer. We're saying this is what should be trusted, and it's going to test issuers. Oh, okay, so it is a little bit reverse. So the untrusted is what passes in first. So this would be better to call something other than issuer, maybe call it something that represents that it's in question. But that is correct. Okay. So I'm just kind of poking around. I'm looking for the place where issuers is being used in a way that it would cause this error to get triggered. So I think what I'm going to need to do is, instead of doing a warn, do a throw. This may not work, but I'm going to try it out. Yeah, it's not giving me a stack trace. Dang it. It comes up to the promise and it stops. I guess I could change this into async await for the purposes of testing it, but I don't want to break it in older versions of Node, so I would have to put it back. But for the time being, I think it is fair to turn it into an async await, so that I can get a stack trace. Maybe. Maybe, if I'm lucky. I think my hard drive over there has overheated. I'm going to eject it and turn it off so that it doesn't cause my computer to freeze up like that. Oh. All right, good. So now at least we're getting somewhere here. Key fetch test 100. Claim. Okay, so issuers. There we go. Maybe I was putting this on some things. Wait, claims. So it should be validating the issuer there then. Ah, okay. So we got another thing we need to look at then, which is, that makes perfect sense, and that should work. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to run this check twice. Make sure to change this one too. All right, let's see. Decoded. Claims. Claims decoded. Try. Okay, it looks like we could take this issuer and so this check would have already happened. Do we need to have the claims be exact, or is it sufficient for the claims to match in the same way that the issuer does? I think the current behavior stays. So this would be to do make claims.ish equally unstrict. Okay. Now that's in place. And I almost think that this should stand alone on its own. Yeah, I think that's the way that it should be. So basically, if you just put in an issuer in 2 or 3 places, then there's just 2 or 3 copies of it. No big deal. All right, none shall pass. Keyfetch.js 444. Where's this at? Is trusted issuer. How do we get about that? Do we have a stack trace on this? Thank heavens we do. Okay, 268 and 122. 268. What's being passed in? Decoded.issuer.claims. That seems reasonable. And issuers.sum. And then what was it? 122. 122. That's definitely not. Let me try going there again. That's what it says. Keyfetch, oh, keyfetch test. All right, yeah, let's go check out keyfetch test 122. Okay, issuer is there. Good. And issuer is something. Okay, wait. Throw if not expected. E should have an issuer. Okay. Oh, but it's this one right above. Ah. So this specifically does require that prior behavior. Because if it doesn't have an issuer, any issuer is a valid issuer. So I actually want to change my comment in there. If neither issuers nor issuers were provided, the default behavior is which allows any or no issuers. Deprecated, will throw an error in the next major version. Okay, let's try this now. Cool. All right, everything passes again. So we do need to add just one more test here. What is the test that we need to add here? Maybe we don't need to add a test here. Oh no, we do need to add a test. We need to add a test so that we do see the warning. So let me go back to that where I put an async. And now I'll do this last after the test is done. But the next major version of this, I might just publish right now. And I might publish this as a patch for anything that exists, publish the next version, put the async in there. Bum, 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 bum. Where should this test go? It's an array of arrays of tests. I think actually I should just be able to do this. Well, I guess technically I could override what console.warn does. Let's see, console.warn equals function. Let's save our warned equals false. Warned equals true, and then run this, and then if not warned, and throw new error. Wait, don't we have a function E in here that throws errors? Yeah, we do. So then E should have issued warning about API change. There we go. Return new error, so I will need to actually throw that. Whoops. There we go. Throw. Okay, now I can change this back from a throw to a warn. Let's run the tests again. And then let's get rid of this, just for sanity's sake. Whoops, not that one. Let's get rid of the warning. Good. So verified that the test fails as expected and passes as expected. And now we can re-enable this. And we can get rid of the async. And now we've solved the potential security misunderstanding. All right, look through one more time. We'll double check one last time. Test pass. Okay, good. And then what does it do when it does the fetching? I actually am curious about that. I wonder if it's... example.auth0.com. Thank you, Auth0, for providing an endpoint with example issuances and such. Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add the package ones. Well, let me go ahead and inspect package.json one last time. Oh, bother. Without the white space, though. Okay, so we're updating the URL, we're updating one of the dependencies, we're adding a dev dependency, fair enough. Changing some white space, good. All right, I feel good enough about the package stuff then. And with the package lock, are we at version 1 or version 2? Version 1, because we're on LTS. All right. Key fetch. Oops. Let's just look at the test first. How did the tests change? Did they change in any meaningful way in general? And it looks like... Ugh. Can we get rid of white space or something? I don't know. Yeah, because some of these are just folding over to new lines. But it looks like we added an issuer in a couple of places where there wasn't one. So that should be all good. I should have done the claims as well. Let me just try that out real quick. No, that's not where I want to be. Sorry, wrong file. I didn't want to diff that. All right, where generating key pairs, signing with the issuer. Okay. Then if we're going to do one where we're testing claims, which we should, let's go ahead and make it this one. Claims. There we go. Is that right? I think so. $54. Okay. Let's go to line 54. Close that. Public claims, close that. I don't see the problem. 5486. So let's go to line 86. Indeed. All right, good. So we also did one where we need to have one where claims causes it to fail, though. Let's see if we've got any more of these in here. Okay. Yeah, all right. Inexact claim. So claims are supposed to be exact. That was already tested. So I actually don't need to add that test, because it was already tested. So we can just go back to whatever it was a moment ago. Let me diff that. Okay, I can just get rid of that block, it looks like. So I will. All right, that was already being tested. Excellent. Checking back over here on comments. I'm also getting hungry, so we'll see. But I'm going to be on plenty tonight, so if you want to watch, you can watch all night long. All right, last check of the README. Hardly anything is different in the README. Might want to document the difference in behavior. Yeah, when using for authorization. Let's see. Yeah, it looks all good. We're going to make this prettier. Maybe, maybe not. Let me make sure prettier is installed. Okay, and we've got a prettier RC here, so what's the deal? Is this invalid? Alright, there's like issuers, but only one. Okay, good. And then let's, one more time. Just want to be really careful about what I'm changing here. This is security related stuff after all the tests are still working. Oh, I can actually change that one comment. And I can also change the one comment. So the comment was, we'll have to visually inspect that for warning. We don't, because I was able to override. And then here there was a to do. No, we don't want to make it equally loose. Note, There we go. I feel pretty good about that. Issue security warning when allowing all any or no issuer. I think there was some other stuff in there too, but that's essentially what it was. I'm gonna, all right, security. Respect ops.ish issue warning by default. All right, and then we can do npm version. And I would say this is a patch. There's not really any new feature. We could call it minor. Well, patch. It could break something. But if it did break, see, this is the thing. A patch shouldn't break anything, but if somebody relies on buggy behavior. So should I call it patch or should I call it minor? I think I should call it patch. The reason being this is my reasoning. If it was a minor version, we could expect there's a small possibility that it adds some new feature. There's a small possibility that something that was working could break smaller than a patch, which is kind of sort of does. It adds you the ability to obey ops.issuer, but we expect security updates to be patches. And if the code fails to work because of this change, then you had something configured wrong that is a security concern that you need to be made aware of anyway. So we're going to do that as a patch. And then we're going to, I guess that already was a get tag. We'll do npm publish. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to change that from optional behavior to required behavior as a v 2.0. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, now let's go ahead and change this so that instead of a warning, that this will actually throw a new error. And then anywhere we're using something like promise.resolve, let's just turn that into an async function. Which should have the same effect. Okay, promise.all, that's fine. Do we want all these .thens? Because we could just do await. Let's see, oops, var pim equals await. Var thumb equals await. Oh wait, this is mapping. Oh, that's fine. Alright, so we get rid of that. Okay, that looks right. Global promise. That should go in the JS hint. Okay, same thing here. Let's just convert this over. So when I'm doing these types of changes, you'll notice that I hit % to go down to the end of the matching bracket and delete the bottom matching bracket because there's always a matching bracket below it. And then I hit % again and it takes me back up to the top. Little trick. Alright, so what about var resp equals await? Okay, good enough. And then the reason that I'm doing the async here is so that I get better stack traces, essentially. So when there is an error, oops, hold on, what did I just do? That's a dot then? Okay. Need to put the await here as well. Okay. Boom, that looks good. And I'm just going to put async in a bunch of these things because I don't know if that's a promise or not, but if it is, putting async there will give it a better stack trace. So that's that. And that definitely doesn't need it. Adding async where you don't need it can be a micro tick slower, but adding it where you do need it can be a micro tick faster and give you a better stack trace. Oh bother. This is gonna be a little repetitive. Yeah. Looks like... Okay, this is all going to be very similar. For at least 3 of them. That's okay. Refactor, refactor, will hide. All right, well that looks good. The other thing that's nice about making functions async, even if they don't need to be, is that you then get to use .catch, which is a lot more ergonomic, in my opinion, than using a try-catch. And you can await a .catch, so it's easy to stop the flow of execution and stuff. All right, promise all, var resp equals await. Alrighty. Let's see if I have any more .thens hanging around. First, yeah, all my promises are now promise.alls. Do I have any .thens? Got one here. Meh. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Whatever. Ah. Still needs to call it. here. Just going through and refactoring a little bit. Okay, .then check out. That's perfectly fine. That looks probably simpler than whatever other way I could have done it is. I just like reducing nesting. Anytime I can reduce nesting, that's a win. And now that async is widespread, I've started to use it. Okay. Thinning out some code. All right, so this doesn't make much sense. Return P. So in all situations, I'm just going to return this. Why even bother with the variable? Probably just because I don't like having multiple places that you can return from. In which case, it seems to be fair. Alrighty. That's fair. I could probably thin this out. Just denests a tiny itsy bitsy bit. Whatever. Alright. I feel like I just did this. Hence the dry up a bit, I suppose. Oh, bother, bother. Alrighty. I guess maybe this is my second pass at this. And I'm just getting rid of a little bit more than I was before. Whoops. Alright, wait. Yeah. Where's the .then, .then, .then? These are all simple ones. They look like they're helpful more than they're hurtful. So they can stay. Alright. So let's run the tests again. And of course they fail because I missed putting an async somewhere. I knew that was going to happen. Looks like it's going to happen a couple of times here. None shall pass. All right. If you would like to allow any issuer if you would like to bypass issuer verification for federated auth, let's see here. I think that's fair enough. All right. And let's just change that from the warn to where's should have issued a security warning. Okay, throw if not expected. Then E. Okay. I see what I did there. Cool. So now the test should pass. Thumbprint is not defined, no surprise. Thump. There we go. Thump print. Of course. All right, cool. With that, I don't know if the README needs to be updated at all. Let's see, defaults. All right, when used for authorization, support specify which issuers are allowed. Otherwise, anyone can create a valid token with whatever claims they want. Otherwise, an error will be thrown. Specify a limited set of trusted issuers. When using for authentication, example, email, let's see, just random IDs and signatures. Let's see, federated. There we go. Do not. Okay, there we go. That's, I think, the only thing I needed to update about the documentation. Tests are passing. So I'm going to commit this. Alright, so we can do this as a major version, npm version major. And let's publish this to npm. Okay, 4, 3, 5, 6, 3. Okay. There's key fetch 2.0. And then I think that it is safe to delete this and close this out. And it is safe to delete this. Yeah, we're going to archive it. We're going to rename it to archived. And then we'll make another one, new migration. And it'll be this one here. And we'll just grab our text here. This will be a mirror. There we go. Cool beans. I had to make a little video on how to use this and put it in the README since I'm doing all this video stuff. Anyway, yeah, that was just a little less structured than I was hoping for. I think I'm just going to quit this out now, and we'll call this 8A. This was the security stuff. But whatever. Part numbers doesn't matter. We're not going to round numbers. The next one will be part 9, and that will be coming up momentarily. I'm going to go check about dinner because I'm getting kind of hungry. I could use a break. And then I'll be back here, and we'll be moving right along. So I think I can close this issue out via this commit. Huh. What's going on here? All right. Oh. So let's see if we can get this specific commit. Can I, instead of main, what specific commit are we on? Dang it. All right, I'll copy that. And then I will go into the test here. That's, oh, that's a little bit more than I think I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And then okay. That actually should be error. But whatever. We'll call it a warning. Okay. This is a stupid issue. Ryan. Close that out. Okay, do need to do that. That's a security piece that maybe I could do right now as well. Let require monitor. Yeah, I'm gonna say let's look into this one real quick. Let me go back to was it? I think it was like 84. There we go, 84 columns wide. I'm going to go back here, and then we're going to go back into Auth 3000, and we're going to take a look at how refresh is done and verify that it's not updating verify session. Verify session should not refresh the session. All right, what I'm looking for is where the cookie is set. Whoops. Cookie ops. res.cookie. There we go. Set auth in refresher. Grant token and cookie. Okay, good. So the only time that the cookie is granted and it looks like I could just res and claims. It looks like I could just move that functions, the stuff for that function inside of here. Okay. It's only used in that one place, yeah. So it looks like that could work. I'll leave it separated out for now. Okay. And what I need to make sure of here is that set auth in refresher, grant token and cookie, get ID claims. Okay, makes sense. So basically, you have to go validate. The only way that you can refresh the cookie is by validating the user. Now, I think what we do also need to make sure is that anytime we are exchanging the token, if we're going to refresh the token, get ID claims, yep. Exchange, get access claims, yep. Okay, cool. So, essentially, anytime a token is granted, the user is going to be... There's an opportunity for the database to no longer have the user. So if we have a cookie that lasts for 60 days and then the user is fired and then they have their cookie in their browser still and their short-lived token has expired after 15 minutes or an hour or a day or whatever it is, then they won't be able to refresh the short-lived for a long-lived, because when it comes in with a valid cookie and the session is verified, we still have to do a get access claims or get ID claims, which again, I think I'm going to change that to just get user. Alright, so what about this one? Yep, everything looks right. Bless me. Okay. All right. So that one, we can close out that issue. Or is there any other security stuff? Ideally, there's a limit of understanding other things. However, want to be able to provide. There's ever so slightly. Not sure about that. Providing at the top level. Okay. All right. Now key pair is provided to the middleware. And do we still have that problem where if it's not there, there's a dead zone? Let's see. Do we want to say key pair equals await? I think that'll do well enough. Yep. To do read key pair as file name. All right. Okay, so the problem there is that would return a promise. So what we could do is we could make the API that you await the middleware. I think that's fair. It's unusual though. Let's not do it. Okay. All right, it is possible that this could happen a millisecond or two after the server is accepting connections. Meh. Noted. What we could do though Because could we provide a dot then? So we return the app. Could we have an app dot then that, say, this returns to? And then it could be awaited. Sure, let's do it. So let's say we can have a key pair promise and that there is a dot then. And then we could have the option. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's just unusual. It doesn't matter. If it matters, we'll know. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that one I still want to answer, but I'm not going to do that yet. Create document server API tokens. Kind of already did that. Need audit trail, need magic link. Okay, magic link is what we're going to work on next. All right. Well, probably until after dinner. Adios. If this was useful, go ahead, give it a like. Check down in the doobly-doo for links to the live channel, which is this channel, and the Beyond Code channel, my Morning Shower Thoughts channel, lots of channels, you know, and some cool gear if you're into GameCube homebrew or some of this YouTubing stuff. And I will be adding more of the computery things. Most important, of course, is to have a good water bottle. Stay hydrated, friends. Adios. Bye. Button mash.